Okay, this is Mrs. Kundra for IELTS Without Effort, an ex-examiner. And I had talked about the problems that the students have been asking me for the speaking part 2. So I have come up with the solutions now. If you have not seen the earlier video, which was my first one, please go back and type on the YouTube IELTS Without Effort, and you can really relate to those problems, because unless and until you know about the problem, you cannot relate with the solution. So this is my part 2 video, and the thing I referred earlier was that students are worried about the vocab and the idioms. See, what is the brand descriptor? The band, I'm an IELTS examiner. So how will I rate you? I will rate you on fluency and coherence, lexical score, resource, you can say, okay, then grammar and accuracy, and your pronunciation. So these are the parameters given to me, right? So people start having, sweating, oh, I don't know the vocab, so now my, score is going to go very low and all that. See, your vocab, that is your lexical resource. That is 25% of your score. And if you keep on doing this and this, thinking about this, what is going to affect? Your fluency, your grammar, and you're going to mess up everything. So I'm not saying that vocab is not important, but try to use the correct vocabulary. If you do not know the meaning of a word, just memorizing it and using the vocab is going to do no good at all. Okay, now you're asking about the idioms. Well, they are saying if you are for 8 band, you need some idiomatic language. But when you memorize, what happens? The pronunciation is wrong of the idiom. The meaning is not clear. Sometimes, you use it just for using it. And believe me, it is so irritating for the examiner that sometimes, the examiner starts thinking probably he's giving or she's giving everything that is memorized. So the risk is too much. Then that is what I'm saying. Don't use it wrongly. If you have, the idioms you must know, but know them properly. Find a coaching or a teacher who explains you the use of idiom in various situations. English is contextual. You just can't memorize and put it the idiom anywhere you want to, fancy. It's not like that. It's not going to help, please. And believe me, if you use it wrongly, it is going to lower your score. If you use your grammar correctly, your lexical score correctly, right? Not a show off, you are going to get a higher band. Okay? The 7, most of you, which you are aiming. Of course. Now, of course, I'm not saying I cannot deny the importance of vocab. That is why I've said it, that the topic related vocab you must brush up. So topics, they have fixed topics, or the range of the topics is fixed by the IELTS, which you should know. If you do not know, you can really find out, because if I do that and tell you, so you're going to, this is going to go long. So you must brush up the vocab related to your topic. Any topic if you feel, which is common to the, modules. Even for the essay, when you do an essay, see that how can you use this vocab in the speaking also. So when I teach my students, I collaborate the writing and the speaking module. They go parallel to each other. English in the of course in the essay it's going to be formal, but the words, the vocab use is going to be the same in the essay and in the speaking module. So mine is always a collaborated effect. When I teach these modules in collaboration, and to that matter, even the reading section, it is all collaborated. So it is conceptual. So find some teaching or the teacher who has a clear knowledge of this. I've seen a lot of videos and audios, like students that come, when you go from one bullet to the other, you use furthermore and moreover. Oh my God. You described place where you went, and furthermore, I went with this, my, husband or my sister. How does that furthermore now fit it into this? Furthermore, I went. They're saying if you complete one bullet, you add that furthermore and moreover. Please, it is not going to work. Nothing memorization is going to work, right? We examiners are very quick enough. We, test and test and test. Sometimes I really start, correlating that, this one is a memorized thing coming from all the candidates who till now have examined. See? So now repeating words. Now don't worry too much about that. When you start doing that, you go into a, vicious circle, right? So what will they say? That you don't have to repeat a word. You tell me, it is just impossible. It is just impossible not to repeat a word. You will not repeat a preposition. You will not repeat an article. Or, you become so conscious. Ultimately, what is going to happen? Your fluency and your coherence is going to affect. You're going to hear why. You're going to go somewhere else. Because you're already thinking, I have not to repeat. I have not to repeat. Please be natural. And then tell me, how you will, suppose you're talking about Punjab or Paris or Nigeria. I have the students all over the world. So how will you replace that name with some other, thing or a word? How will you not repeat it? It is better to repeat, again I'm saying, than to do anything wrong. Because that is going to lower the score. Again, the examiner's mind, I'm going to think, this is again a memorized one. Then it's going to, lower the score. And then we see that, the examiner, spoke so much, but the examiner did not give me, the bands, the required bands. See, nobody is against you. The examiner has to see these parameters and do accordingly. Okay. Now, then you say, there's this thing, I don't have a knowledge about the topic. See, some students have shown me a topic which is not in the Cambridge preview. I don't know from where do they take those topics. You are not supposed to know anything technical, right? See, if you're talking about an object that you like, do you know that, how can it be possible that you do not know about that object? You are given an option to talk about an object, about a place, about your relatives, about your friend, about an activity. So you know it. Especially those, the problems that the students come with me, where there is a specific, knowledge to be needed, then you beware. The Cambridge is making your test in such a manner that you do not need any technical language or technical jargon to explain that. Even when doctors are coming to me, I tell them, please don't be technical, right? If you're going to describe something, if you know it very well, do it, but don't show off the knowledge. Because if you are going to show off the knowledge and your vocab is not going to be correct, in case it is something, you're talking about some disease which you know very well. I mean, generally my doctor students. So they are not able to construct the sentence, but they are saying, oh ma'am, I want to use this, that is why I said this. Okay, so I said, why are you insisting that you have to use that technical language or the way? You just be simple, just express yourself in a natural way. See, you have, even the examiners, we are told that we are not, supposed to have some native accent or an accent that, the student doesn't understand, right? So, we are encouraged to have a neutral accent. And if there are some examiners, if they have some native accent, so they are try to, reduce the accent so the student can understand. Ultimately, we want what? We want a language from you, and which has to be natural and which has not to be memorized. And we have to evaluate according to the descriptors that have been given to us. See, I will do a video for these descriptors where you'll come to know what goes inside the mind of the examiner, right? So if you are, again to sum up, that if you are, too much worried about your vocab, idioms, repeating words, and knowledge, knowledge is not a big problem. The questions are generally easy. It is your day-to-day things which you see and do. So that is not a problem. It is just you have built up in your mind. Get that straight out, please. So what I wanted to sum up here is that all this is, even your vocab is only 25%. Oh, I could not use a very good vocab, so I am going to get a low score. Please, you are not rated only for your lexical resource or your vocab or your idioms. It doesn't mean if you have not, used these things and you will not get a good score. See, I have given a very good score to people, those who have not used one idiom in their speaking test. They have got very good, but they speak naturally. They speak as a very fluent. So, because I was to, I am bound by the parameters. So, the lexical score could be a bit less, but if the child has scored more for the fluency and the pronunciation is also correct. I'll clear about the pronunciation thing. There's a quite a hype about this pronunciation being, created, I don't know, by, I would not like to take the names because I have all those names from all over the world. So they'll create a hype on this and this. See, if your lexical score is a bit less, but if you are okay with okay and okay with this, just tell me the common sense, how are you going to be rated, low? How will you be rated? When you are doing well in the others, okay, could be, even if you are good here, this will not, show much. And that is why I'm saying that you are going to get a good score. So, go tension free, and meanwhile, I don't want this, video to go again long enough. So this is Mrs. Kundra signing off for IELTS Without Effort. I really respect the amount of respect and love you have given for the earlier video, though it is not very technically sound. But for me, the explanation and the content is more important. These are unedited videos, but I really want to help you, right? So kindly stick to these things, and you're going to score very well. So meanwhile, speak more, listen more, read more, focus more, and write more. Practice. That is the secret. Thank you, and I'll see you in the other video.